Sanbonan, did you at one point just ask yourself, how does the e-hailing universe work? You and I see the guys driving us back and forth, and we never get to ask the real questions around it. But today we're going to do some very interesting conversation, because we want a first-hand information and experience of people that are in the space. But from us, so from me as Isaac Lesole, Transit Ringers, I want to tell you this. I want to say, as a driver, as an owner of the vehicle, I want you to know that e-hailing platforms have no business with you. Their intention eventually is to wipe out the human portion from driving. You all know that in other developed economies, Uber, Bolt is already testing self-driving vehicles. So for e-hailing platforms, you as the driver and the owner, you are not part of their future. So your relationship with them today is determined by what they want to do with you. A few weeks ago, we ran an episode and we said that Uber is slowly collapsing, or rather the e-hailing platform, it's really, really collapsing. It's not them that's collapsing, it's the human side of things. Because human beings, drivers and owners in the space, are slowly not making money. You'd know that in Europe, the last couple of weeks, drivers have been out there complaining that Uber, for instance, is taking more than almost 47% of the money that they are supposed to be getting. It has moved from 25%, which was initially the amount of money that Uber would take. But Uber has opened this space for themselves because they want you to constantly just give them. They are taking and taking from you. Now, the South African situation is worse because the drivers are disorganized. The drivers, everyone is doing as they please. They are dying in silence. You see their cars parked under the trees, at malls, outside the churches. They are in distress and there's nobody who's going to save them. Let's not forget that everything that they have tried to do over the last couple of years, all they could do is to go and ask government to try and regulate it. But Uber's attitude and Bolt's attitude and InDrive, their attitude is that if you don't agree with our percentages, switch off. Move to the next one. They don't need you because you are just a number. You are actually seen in terms of the registration number of your vehicle, not you as the... So there's no human element because remember, you are dealing with the machine. It's a platform. It's a digital platform. So there's no human element to it. There's no emotional intelligence. You're dealing with the machines. And that's why sometimes we are very grateful to have these artificial intelligence and digital presence. But you must remember that there is no human being that is behind some of these machines. So today, we have decided that because we've been doing a lot of episodes on e-hailing throughout, we thought that we must start a series of talking to different drivers and different owners, and we will go to them in studio, we'll go to them where they are. We will also have multiple drivers on one episode just to have an experience of what. But today we're lucky because we have one of the owners who's in the studio with us and said to me, Isaac, I don't want to be talking about these things because everyone is for himself here. And I don't want to expose myself as if I am fighting with anybody. I am just going to talk about my own experience. And out of my own experience, you guys would decide what to do. So you, as the as an e-hailing platform, you must decide why do you want to penalize people when they are just talking about their experience? Because this is what we're going to be doing. We are following these things all over the world. We're following what's happening in Europe. We are following it in India and other parts of Asia, if you like. But this is what we're going to be doing because we are going to bring it home. So, but just tell me this. I took you from the streets. Now you were just going to do. You were going to gym, and I said no. Just please have a conversation with me. But the reason why I took you into the studio and not speak to you from the streets, I also wanted you to have an experience of who we are and where we operate from. Because more often, people who talk about these things, they come from a small mkuku somewhere or is a lawyer that's just doing some work. They don't have the big teams that you are supposed to have to do research and find out. So I've taken you around. Prems, just talk to me. One, who are you? How long have you started doing this business that you're in? And then just talk to me about your feeling of walking around this park of ours.
Yeah. Yes, Isaac. I'm an Uber driver, and yeah, thank you for this opportunity to share my experience.
Right.
And yeah, you've taken me through there because when I saw you on the street, I was like, maybe it's one of those lawyers that they're trying to build their profile.
Yeah.
But you indeed, you take me in. Your very nice office here in Cresta.
Yeah.
And huge staff compliment.
Yeah.
I thought it was only you, maybe. But yeah, it's like variety of offices, different things that you are doing. Yeah,
Right,
it's
right.
and so it's a great thing.
It's a proper operation.
It's a proper operation.
Yeah.
It's not like Makona.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm in a nice studio. You understand? So yes, I'm happy. I'm here to share my experience.
Cool.
And tell you what we're going through.
Nice. That's gonna be very interesting. So when did you start this journey?
Started in 2021 when I lost my job in 2020.
Right.
I thought this is the opportunity for me, since I don't have any business idea that I could start a business and stuff. I was only working in one of the corporates. Then when the job finished, then I thought, what is it I'm going to do? Then I'm like, okay, I think it's Uber I will do because I can drive, you understand?
Right.
Easily adapt to their system,
Right.
how to take trips and, and all that. So here I am now in 2025 still doing Uber.
Sure.
But it has been very, very, very tough.
So let's start talk about how was it in the beginning when you started, and I want us to spend a little bit of time because I want to talk about the money part, because everyone who comes into this space, you coming here to try and make a living. That's the reason.
That's the reason, yes.
So there's nobody who's just bored who comes here and say that, no, I'm going to drive.
Yeah.
You come here because you are a father,
Yes.
you are a family man with responsibilities.
Yes.
And you, amongst all other business opportunities, you thought this one might be the easier to come into.
There we go.
What has been your experience? So I want us to cut the 5 years into 2.
There we go.
So I want you to talk to me about the first 2.5 years of your driving. Talk to me about what that experience is and how the profits have been, and then we would get to the second part.
Yeah, when I started in 2021, things were good, right? Because remember, when you start something that you've never been, you would project yourself in terms of what you're getting and ensure that, okay, in terms of my demands and needs and whatnot in terms of my life, then you would say, okay, this is good for me and this is how I'm going to utilize in terms of earnings. Right? And then, but you would hear the experience from the people that would have introduced you to a business to say, let's make money here. Okay. Then they will tell you a different story to say, there used to be money here, this and that, but try, you'll see. Then when I when I started, I was like, man, this is, I can save, I can, on Tuesday, you get your money, you prioritize accordingly. It takes individual. Then how to you structure.
Manage your own.
Exactly. And then on Tuesday, I put my money there for petrol, you understand, savings, whatever that on the debit orders, then you accumulate on the fourth week, debit orders goes, everything was smooth. And even when they strike, when I started, I think it was about in 5 months' time, when they say we're on strike, I used to not to strike.
You didn't understand what was the purpose.
Why these people they're disturbing our business, this and that. I wish they can punish them. You understand? I was one of those people who were really regarding Uber as the. And then it was fine as we go. And then afterwards, they've started introducing this move. This introduced Go. UberGo. When I started, there was no UberGo.
There was just X, Black, and Van.
Exactly. Then I was on the option of UberX and package, I think. And then one of our friends said, when I phoned them, asked them to put option for UberGo. People are making money there. Then I phoned and then I got, they put an option. Then trips were, my phone was crying every time. But when I noticed that the money is leaking, and we did not understand the dynamics of UberGo, UberX, you understand? Then we started striking, this UberGo is killing us. People, they would come in four clients, maybe for 15 rand trips, they are using us, this and that. And then the Uber visited the whatever, and then they said, okay, now we're gonna structure in the way of if you take UberX, maximum of it would be 1, maximum of 3, and then if you take UberGo, maximum of minimum of 1, maximum of 2. Then they will educate you, the customers. Okay, fair enough. Okay, maybe the customers would have received emails to say, okay, if you are 2, it's UberGo, like that. Okay. Then the problem starts there. Then I think in 2000 it went on, and then the price drops, because just to give you.
So when do we, in your mind, when do you think UberGo was brought to life? I think 2023.
2022. Yes. Because I was very new there. I was I think it was 2022. And then they were introducing, because you would not partake on Uber if you are driving a small car. It would be you'd have a sedan that was then acceptable. And then I think they were pressed by Bolt. Bolt was putting any car that you might think of. And then they've started to say, okay, UberX would be such cars and UberGo. And then they've introduced this move of theirs with the small cars.
Oh, because there was no hatchback.
There we go. They've introduced that, and then clients, most with the economic living that we are on in South Africa, then they opt for a cheaper one. You understand? So that's where the chaos start. Then after that, and we knew as an Uber driver, you would understand to say, okay, if I take a short trip, okay, way back then it used to be 26 rand. I think when I started, it was 16 rand. The entry when it like 0
a short trip,
yes, up to 5 kilometer, 4 kilometer. Then you'd get 16 rand, and then when they were striking and all that, then they review their prices. Then when we get the trips on our screens, we see that now it's 26 rand. They said, oh, okay, at least 10 rand extra for a short trip. But on the other categories, of price, you would see, no, it's still the same. Then I said, okay, maybe they're in what you call trying to
cover their debt.
Not necessarily cover their debt. They are trying to, because most of the drivers were ignoring the short trips, like your 16 rand.
Oh.
You understand? So they're encouraging us to take the short
All
trips.
the short trips.
Yes. Okay. Then if I can give you an illustration in terms of the kilometers and the money that we're getting, I'm going to start from 50 rand.
Yeah.
You would know that if the kilometer is 10, then definitely it's going to be 50 rand or 55 rand. It depends on the busy or peak hours, right? Okay. But the minimum was 50 rand.
Would be 50 rand. Yeah. Okay.
Then we know that 10 kilometers, which was good. 10 kilometers is definitely 20 kilometers is definitely how much?
100 rand.
100 rand.
Yeah.
40 kilometers, it's 200 rand.
No
less,
discussion, no nothing.
And we do not care about their 25%, whatever, because we don't know how they calculate that, right? But we knew that in terms of
the kilometers, this is what you're getting.
So now, 100.
Wait. Before you come there, there's something very interesting. So you are saying, so when you got onto this, you could easily make a proper living as a driver because your calculations were that, okay, it's 10 trips, 50 rand, 20 100 rand. So you are calculating based on that. And Uber is giving you your money. You will sort out the rest of the other things, but you are making enough money.
It was enough.
It was enough.
Even now, if they can revert to that, back to that, we'll be still making a living rather than what they've done now, which is worse.
Despite the fact that petrol will still go up, maintenance will still go up, you have insurance and all of this, you still had, at least you could survive with what they were giving you.
Yes.
Will I be correct to say there will be people like yourself who would have made a financial decision to say that, okay, this thing is working. This thing. Because now there's 10 kilometers, 20, 40, whatever the number of kilometers. But now you can project. You know that this is what it gives me.
There we go.
So now you can make a commitment.
There we go.
Now you can commit, okay, now I can afford a house. Now I can upgrade my car. My child can go to that because now you know what the numbers are. Right?
There we go.
So there will be people who would have made decisions based on what the agreement, what was put on the table at the time. Yes. Now, things changed, and Uber still did something very nice. I know that we're mentioning Uber a lot, viewers. We're mentioning Uber a lot, but we're talking e-hailing. But Uber is the biggest e-hailing platform, at least in South Africa and other parts of the world. So we often, I know that there are some of you who will even call Bolt Uber. You in Drive, they will call. So anything and everything is like, we know, black people, we say a plastic is Checkers, So a toothpaste will be Colgate. It's like that. So Uber, don't take offense. We're talking about numbers here, and you the biggest brother. So chill. We're gonna come to.
And I do have Bolt as well.
You do also have.
I use, but I don't use it much because it pays less than Uber. So
I want us to talk about that a little bit. But here we are. So at the biggest. Your biggest decisions that you're making on the basis of the numbers and the deal that's on the table, and your biggest driver, your biggest opportunity, you're seeing it from Uber. Can we say that? So, and this happens. Uber then decides to introduce UberGo. We were excited.
Yes,
as riders.
Of course, we would.
Because I was paying X and it was only me. You know? So now these guys can now think. They're saying, okay, now you are alone, let's reduce a bit of a price. So which was great. I know that there was a strike. There was a strike that said that, why don't you remove this Go? Because Go there was a strike. There was a big strike. No, drivers were saying that Go has interrupted with our business and they are now small. Can't you what you guys didn't know? They were creating an opportunity for a new business, which was Move. So you as a driver, you were fighting the battle that you didn't understand. You thought that they were fighting you. They were creating a new revenue channel for them.
A quick money.
Quick money.
Quick money. Quick.
Because you had to...
It comes fast.
You know. Because hatchback is small, petrol consumption low, so everything is good, and you can put it in the student community. It would move like hotcakes.
And they were clever because we were driving the sedan cars. They were clever. No, it's fine. You can phone if you want the option.
You know, but your consumption does not change. I agree. You've got this buzz.
Exactly. So. What would you do? Phone them, hello, how are you, Vas? Please, can you add UberGo for me? Then you get, your car runs like a mad, what you call, on the road.
Yo. Guys, this was the game of chess and you missed it. As drivers, it was the game of chess and you missed it. So what they did is that they brought this new vehicle, which they created a new deal so that they become the supplier themselves. All right?
But they are denying it. No, it's not us.
Yeah, I know that they can deny all the... Yeah, it's them. And then they created a special supplier. So everything that Uber gives you is, most of the time, they come from the same value chain. So the guys were clever. These are businessmen. But what they did is that because their biggest money comes from these short trips and small cars, they allowed you to go and pick up a lot of kilometers with no money. With less money. So that you reach the threshold of your kilometers where they can kick you out. So you missed the game of chess there.
Yeah.
So you missed it.
We will always.
Yeah. So you missed it, and they said, you have an option, and you called with a smile.
Hey.
Can I please be added on Go?
So you don't know whether they're going to be declined or not.
Yeah.
Like in an application.
You are praying.
But they know that they're going to give you.
Hey. This is incredible. So now they're saying, you are now realizing, no, but I'm adding kilometers here on this vehicle. And the threat now is, you don't know if the kilometers that you're adding will go the same time with the repayment of the vehicle. You can't say that. So one of these can come first. Your kilometers can kick you out before you finish the vehicle. Hey, you guys are in trouble.
Big one. But what can we do? Now I don't have any other job. So I'm depending on this Uber, which I'm not happy, but I'm working because I've got kids. I've got bills to pay. So it's too much. So
no, it's fine. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Please allow me to do this. We were just talking about, I just got excited because we were talking about the first half. So The second half, where you are now, is where you're seeing flames.
I'm a dead man walking.
You're now seeing flames.
I've got nightmares. When I'm alone in the car waiting for a trip, I'm asking myself, I pray to my God and say, please give me strength, because I don't see where I'm going.
Yo. So we were talking about the first part and the second part, and you were saying to me, when you are sitting in the car waiting for another trip, there's something that happens inside of you. Tell me about what's going on when you are waiting. What goes through your mind?
I think it's with the because I've actually told you about the past,
right.
the first part.
The first part of the
first part, which according to me, I think, though it was not that lucrative, but
you could
survive. You understand? Because if you could list a lot of things that happens in life of a human being, then you would say, no, you miscalculate. But I could live.
That's important.
Could smile. I could participate on their surveys and say, thank you, Uber. Thank you for giving us these opportunities. Until now, when they've dropped the prices with complicating explanation, when they explain to us, they will write an email with, I'm only a matriculate person, you understand?
Yeah.
But there's that document that you will read and then you get confused. You understand? To say, no, we've done this and that, you're still gonna make your money ultimately because of 1, 2, 3, but you could see that you are not making money, right?
Because the email and the bank account is the only instrument you can use to measure whether you're making money or not.
So at this point in time, that's why I'm saying I'm a dead man walking.
Sure.
Because you don't know what the future holds.
Sure.
And you wonder, who is this person that is making decisions in terms of pricing? Does he think of someone? Or is he thinking of himself? So we heard that they've changed management from this one to this one. Generally, that Indians, not in a bad way, they like to save. You understand? They make sure that every cent counts. You understand? With everyone have that general knowledge.
No, we know it. I have Indian partner.
So I believe, and we never met the people, but I heard that Indian people took over. And then that's when everything started going down. So the prices have dropped, and that's what makes nightmare to us.
So what does it mean when you say the price has dropped? What does it mean? You mean that for me as the rider, it has become cheaper for me?
Let me tell you something. Because I'm one of the drivers that talks to clients. Sometimes I would ask, how much are you paying for this trip? You understand? Because I know exactly, because what you pay and what I receive is totally different. If you have a discount, or Uber is giving you a discount, a trip of 30 rand, you are paying 2 rand. I will get my 30 rand.
Okay.
Do you understand? So that's why the problem is.
Okay.
But there was a time when the client was paying without the discount. And then I asked the client, hey, I made a joke. I said, hey, you guys are living good. Then this client said, what do you mean? You understand? I said, no, we're driving 40 kilometers now, and what I'm being paid is, you can laugh. You can laugh. But I'm still paying the same amount. That's shocking. You understand? Because I was just trying to get a feel from the client. But what I'm paying now, I've been doing Uber for long. I'm still paying the same amount. The client is still paying the same amount, according to that client. But I don't have numbers.
Yeah.
Clients are still paying the same amount.
Yeah.
The pinches on us. So I don't know if you understand.
No, I understand that.
So the client are still crying in terms of payments. It's not like the
it's not that
gone down and then even
it's not like it's cheaper for me. It's not. It's not
you're
like
still
it's cheaper.
paying what you think you must pay.
Yeah.
But it has come down to us. And when I sit down, I thought perhaps that was my own analysis to say, oh, maybe, because when I started doing Uber, there was a client who's well learned. He said, I believe your company is running on a loss. They said, but they're making a lot of money. I said, no, you must check, you must Google. These people are running on a loss, this and that, right? And then when I do my analysis, I was like, okay, perhaps maybe this crew that have taken over, they are trying to pay back whatever.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be a short time. And I was talking, when you meet on the street and talk to the driver, maybe it's a short time, but they are killing us. You understand? But this thing is going on. It doesn't end.
No. Now hold that thought. So I wanna break this thing down for the driver, because we've done a lot of work around e-hailing. And we're realizing that a lot of drivers are following us, and thanks to those drivers that are contacting us, a lot are contacting us, and they're crying about it, a lot of these things. But they're saying Uber has now become a bit sneaky. In the past, they used to say you are getting 35 rand, which is 25% of this amount. They are saying that they don't see that the percentages anymore.
You just anymore.
You just see that.
You just say amount, kilometers, and how far you're gonna go and fetch the client. They're very sneaky. You're right. That's a correct word, because we don't know. After that, when they were not, because that's where they start dropping prices, right? Remember, I told you the illustration of how much I was getting for this
kilometers. Yeah.
40 kilometers. Right? You get 165. We used to get
200
rand. Where is 35 rand going to? It's very sad. 100 kilometers and 20 kilometers where we used to get 100 rand, which we were happy. You get 88 rand. Maybe a maximum of 92 rand. That's what we get now from Uber.
And what would be the difference? The difference would be the surge.
Let's take, okay, when hey, Uber is, thank you for touching that part of surge. When we were getting from the first session that I said when I started, when it's surge, you smile.
Yeah,
you know,
you are supposed to.
When it's 4 o'clock, you smile. Because the search goes to an amount that you would say, thank you, God. You understand?
Yeah.
But now, at this stage, when it searches, it goes back to those prices. You know those prices, the first one that we're happy?
Yeah.
When it searches, it goes back to there. If it searches, if it's 20 kilometers, you get 100 rand. That's where they search. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah, I do.
Confused.
No, I do. No. I am realizing that so a search does not, only through a search they take you back to what you used to make. And yet a search of today is probably triple what it used to be.
There we go.
Couple of years ago.
So
you are sitting with a search that takes you where you used to be when you started.
Even maybe not 100% used to be where we used to be, but maybe they will tell
little less. And Aye, guys. So that's fine. So am I hearing you to be saying that you are now affected by the changes, the pricing changes that are taking place inside Uber?
We're affected a lot. And there are a lot of factors. Uber have introduced DECRA every year. When you go to, have to renew your car inspection.
Yeah.
We used to go to Tackers and Wheel.
Yeah.
Tackers and Wheel, they check your double disc. They check the inside, the interior, the exterior. Take photos. Then they send it where? To Uber. Good to go for a year again. How much we were paying? 120. Right? So I want you to think now. 120. Okay, fair enough. Boop. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Then you submit the documents. Right? Last year, they've sent a nice email. Now we're moving to DECRA with a nice English, as if it's
a nice thing.
It's a nice thing.
Yeah.
We're moving to DECRA because we need to do, the cars need to be on the roadworthy, this and that and that and that and that. Oh, okay. All right. That's good for our client and for myself, for the car that is on good condition. You understand? How much is DECRA?
Now.
To take your car to DECRA?
Yeah.
500 rand.
It's
490.
Okay.
Right? Okay. DECRA and Uber are eating. I don't know what that meant.
Yeah.
They are happy. The numbers on DECRA. Your car it can fail. You know how DECRA is. DECRA, it was meant for garages.
Yes.
Like your VW garages, your own garage that you're selling cars.
Yeah.
For the customer that comes and buy, what you are expecting as a customer, the car to be roadworthy. We are on the road, hitting potholes. Our shocks are leaking and all those things. When you take it to DECRA, you will end up, last year I spent about 10,000 to fix my car.
Just to get it ready for DECRA.
There we go. With the dropped prices, right? I have to buy a side lamp because even if it's a scratch or just, the lamp at the back, if it, a little,
just a fraction.
Yes,
fraction.
Thank you, fraction.
Yeah.
Then it fails, right? Then you need to go a lamp. How much is lamp? 3.5. They check there's a leak, a small leak.
Yeah.
It fails. How much I have to buy? 2,500. You understand? You have to check your tires. You have to check all your tires. How much? 3,000 rand.
Sure.
So why I'm mentioning all those things of DECRA, we spend money in order to fix our cars with the dropped prices, let alone the petrol,
let alone the insurance, let alone just to prepare for DECRA. So am I hearing you to be saying that just when your time for DECRA is approaching, you are stressing, you are...
Yes. It's like you've tested for HIV. you don't know whether you are negative or positive. You understand? You could see if one day you can just drive to one of the DECRA, what to call. I think you have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah. In a way,
because every day there's cars. Just check the state of the driver. Check his
facial expression.
It's like he's waiting for a bomb that will happen. He does not know what will come. And that's stressing a lot because this is the money we're talking about. You understand?
No, I think this is really very deep. And I think we are taking it for granted as riders. Because we don't know what you really go through. Because I want a roadworthy car. Okay? Mm-hmm. But even Nabobo DECRA, it must be known that there's corruption that's taking place there. We will tell you that. We will tell you that. There are people here at work. We use a lot of Uber. You would order a comfort. and you would get something that looks like guys. So you know that for this car to be categorized as comfort, the way it looks,
and it went through DECRA.
It's still on the platform.
There's a problem.
I know there's a problem there. Somebody inside there. So this DECRA thing, we must look at it also. A friend of mine was talking to me about they ordered a black. This thing looked all poshy outside. Inside, when they walked in,
shake house.
This thing was, whereas you're driving, the shocks. It's a problem. But it's still on the vehicle. So they are not necessarily very clean when they do this DECRA thing. But that's not we will get to the DECRA discussion. For today, we are saying that here is a platform that majority of South Africans, or let's say drivers and owners, are dependent on, because every country has got the opportunity. You go to Nigeria, there will be Uber. You go to Zimbabwe, everywhere. But in South Africa, you have a lot of mix. So you have foreign nationals. So the economic opportunities are shared between foreign nationals and South Africans. And by all accounts, the numbers, when you go to Cape Town, for instance, there is proof that majority of the drivers in that environment are foreign nationals.
Yeah.
It's proven.
Yeah, even here in Johannesburg.
Even here in Joburg. But that's not our main discussion. Our main discussion is drivers are not making money. Things have changed from what it used to be to where you are now praying. You used to smile. There's a difference. So if there's a person who's not been to school, you are saying in the past, you used to smile. Today you are praying. These are two different worlds. You are praying for survival. You are praying that your car,
you are afraid.
You could be out tomorrow. What do you say? What do you guys used to strike in the past and asked government to help? Did government help?
You know, if you touch the strike part, have you ever heard that we are striking?
Now of late, no.
No, because I think I did share this. Uber have studied us. They know that we depend on them.
Yeah.
And they know that we're gonna come back running in 2 days or 1 day.
Yeah.
So we used to strike, but there's no strike anymore.
Sure.
We need someone as Uber drivers, someone like yourself.
Yeah.
You understand? Someone that we are going to send
on your behalf.
Or, yes, to say, do this for us.
Yeah.
This is what we have for you in terms of money, and we need proper feedback.
I see.
We need proper feedback.
I see.
And we are your boss.
Yeah.
We must be on the street to make money.
Because
like now, I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I could have made 200 rand.
Yeah.
Right? So we do not have time to break.
Sure.
With what we are
dealing with at the moment.
Yeah. I can't even visit my family.
Sure.
If I always have a fight with my wife, baby, you're always not at home.
Yeah.
I see you at night when you come. Yes, we cuddle.
Yeah.
Then in the morning,
early hours of the morning, you must be
I
out.
make you breakfast and that and that. When I'm working at home, I feel that I'm with my husband. Then this thing, you have to be on the street. And I understand you, my husband, that you've got responsibility in the house. Families, I have families that have said to me, where are you now? What happened? Then when you tell them that I must be on the road, otherwise I miss a day, I would have lost 1,100, whatever the target that we put for, because
yourself,
it's 1,000 rand that you could, if you do more than it, like, oh, thanks God, it was busy today.
Yeah.
You understand? So if it's 2 days, 2,000 rand is gone, and it's a deficit.
You can't afford it. You can't afford it. You can't afford it.
So, Mr. Isaac, we really need you. I wish this could go to a lot of drivers. You understand? Then we formalize this, and then I don't know, how can we make money every day? Every week you get paid. What is 10 rand from each individual? What is 10 rand from each individual? What is 15 rand from each individual? And then we task you to go there and not play and use your expertise.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm sharing you my experience.
Right.
And it's not only an experience.
It's a lived experience.
We could put this as first episode. You understand? Because we still need to dig deeper. You understand? You could get another driver right now. Pick one of them here. Ask them, can I have your 5 minutes? Can I have your 10 minutes quickly? Set up your stuff, this thing, and then you'll see a different page from the person that has worked for since 2016 of inception.
Yeah.
That's when I've got a friend that introduced me here that worked from 2016, and that one you can cry when he tells you where he is right now. Yes, somehow we have our wrongdoings, wrong things instead of focus on your earnings and whatnot. But you can cry if he can tell you, where are you now when you had 13 cars that you owe?
Yo.
Where are you now? Are you having your own car of your own? He will tell you, no, I'm driving for Move. That's what he's doing.
So is it okay then because I agree that this needs to be just the first episode. There needs to be a lot more that we need to be talking about, because we are going to pay a lot more attention on this. Mm-hmm. We are not going to leave this issue, because I want to tell you that what you have described, the first part and the second part, there is the law that governs what you have just, that explanation that you given. The National Credit Act says if the circumstances where you started is different from where you are now, if what you used to make then is not what you're making now, and there is a change, and that change is not because udlala ka chelete or you can't just manage it. If those conditions have just changed, there's an opportunity in law, not in government. In law, where you can say, this is where I used to be. You, Uber and Move, you've got the records. You can see that the amount of money I used to make, I'm not making anymore. It is therefore unfair for you to expect me. In fact, instead of you reducing the installments or the monies that I pay, you are increasing them. You are including now deposits for me to get a car. Your percentage is now going up. Petrol is going up. Maintenance and insurance is going up. Everything is going up.
Disregard all those things.
And just on the basis of those things, there are two things that can be done in law in terms of the National Credit Act. One of them is it's a debt review. But a debt review is not a good thing, because if you are under debt review, you might not be able to grow. So you might not, if you're looking for, maybe you want to get another vehicle or you want to upgrade, and you are stagnant, you can't move. But you can restructure the law. You can restructure and say that these are the conditions, and the law does not give them an option. It's the facts. You don't need to stop. You don't need to strike. You don't need to harass us as your riders, because you now have new things.
We don't have to be mean to you.
You don't have to be mean with us. I mean, come on.
We need to talk
come on.
If you find the client is talkative, talk.
You talk.
Then if the client is reserved, then you said, okay, fine.
You know what I'm saying?
But now when you get in, you're like, like when I get a trip for 40 kilometers where I used to get 200 rand, then now I'm getting 165. Then when you get in, I'm not in the mood.
Yeah. You're not in the mood.
Driving the car.
Like, guys, you are in trouble. So the reason why we did this episode is to show you that you are suffering in isolation. You are suffering where you are because you are an island and you're standing alone. You are suffering because all the attempts, and you said something very important. You said, these platforms have studied you. They know that they're able to break your strike. They break it apart just by a search.
In actual fact, when we strike, they laugh.
They laugh at you.
They know.
They laugh at you.
It's like they know. It's like when you know your children, when he cries, what to do.
Yeah. You just
imagine. They don't know us, but they've
studied you.
Yeah.
They've studied you.
And I just want to say something just before we close. Share you something that happened. I received an email.
Yeah.
I think it was a random email to random drivers. They call it a round table.
Okay.
How Opa is calling me. Select which time you want to come. Hey, I would like to, let's discuss, let's talk.
Yeah.
Then I selected from 10 to whatever.
Yeah.
Just 2 hours or 1 hour. Then I made sure that I'm there to share your experience. Like you called me now. To share your experience. I'm like, Peter, they must tell us why the prices were dropped.
Yeah. We are more you what?
I thought maybe it was going to be 5 or 4. I'm like, there's too many people. It was like sessions. Went in. The minute he opens for people to talk, it was all about pricing. People were crying. People were fighting. People were like, they looked violent towards those people that were sent. And that guy was very clever. He saw danger and said, no, these people might break me here. Because everybody was like, why? They were sharing something. We used to get this. Now we're not getting it. What happened? Yeah. Then you know what they said? They said, okay, stop. Everyone, I've got a solution. Like, shame. He's listening to us. So I've got a solution for now. Then on the, he wrote an email address. This is my personal email address. This guy, he likes us. Right? This, you surely you have an email. Yeah. Get in our phone. Just say hi. Just say hi there.
Yeah.
Hi. Right? Okay, I got you. So and so, I got you. Thank you. I want to take this serious now.
Yeah.
Because I can see that each and every one that raises his hand, it's about pricing, drop pricing. I want us to explain to explain to you
this is big.
The nitty-gritties of it. And if maybe you are not satisfied, then we need to look at this point, because I think you guys, it's about pricing and you're talking about nothing else but pricing. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, I'm giving you only 1 week. I will consolidate everything. I'm not going to, because I can see whatever that you guys are saying now, the next group will say the same
The
thing.
same thing.
So you are going to be my buddies, my team, buddy. Oh yeah, no problem. I'll come to on I think it was Friday. On Monday, you'll receive a personal email from me inviting you on more hours. You can laugh, Isaac. We are dying. We are dying, my friend. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, you've recognized my name, and yes, you'll send me an email. Did that happen? No. They've ran away. No engagement with us.
Nice. Now, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna tell you. So all the drivers out there, if you have been part of this roundtable and you received an email, including the response to say because I think they will have acknowledged, we will not publicize your names. So here, the one thing that we do big, we are able, because we deal with people's data, personal information, we are big on confidentiality. Nothing would go out there. What we want is for us we would really like to partner with the drivers. We would really want you to join our court application. As a matter of fact, we wrote to East Port Vehicles. I can't remember, in the East Rand. They leasing vehicles and all of that. We wrote to move, and we said, guys, your customers are dying. They are not able to afford. We need to change. But we need the drivers to come. Come forward. We're going to issue out a link that you can just fill in experience. It's not a complaint. What we want to do, it's more like a survey to say that I used to make this, I used to do this, and this is where I'm doing. This is what I'm doing now. And then so that we can be able, because we're going to have to go to court. And yes, we're going to ask you to partner with us. That 10 rand is going to make a difference. Because here we are going to fight a big beast. A beast that does not want to change. And this beast is not going to be changed by government. I want you guys to understand. But I also want you guys to understand that this beast does not need you. This beast changes you. They'll change you any day. They don't even feel it when you are not there. Right? So to deal with a beast like that, you have no time and opportunity to be on the streets. You can't. You can't. So we want you to stay on the streets and making the money, at least trying to survive. What we want to achieve is to see if we can get a court order that forces them, because there are legislative or legal instruments that we can use to just get them, one, to either reduce, because people are losing vehicles, but they're also repossessing, by the way. Because if you can't afford, you're working in an area, business is not, you're not able to meet your obligations. Because you guys pay here, you pay weekly. You pay weekly. Every week, move once, 3,000 rand.
100.
3,100.
Yeah, the other companies pays and them.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just that Uber, with them, you pay a deposit as well. They've just introduced that now. And I think the conditions are not the same with the others. They're called pays.
Yeah.
Pays, I think, when this within the service plan, then you take the car, but maybe it could be in 3 months or something, because we drive. I don't know how many kilometers I have.
You building.
So, but move, I think you take your car to a service until it becomes yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 3,100
per week
times 4 years.
Guys, so you're paying this car 4 or 5 times more than it's supposed to.
I think maybe in 1 year they would have done with the what you call
the capital amount that you owe.
If you calculate, let's see. Yeah, it's too much, my friend.
It is a lot of money.
It's a lot.
3,000 times 4 times 12.
3,100. Why do you say 3,000?
Oh, okay.
What,
what is this 100 rand? What am I doing? Because it makes a difference. You don't make it on one trip.
Times 4 is equal to times, let's say 24 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me.
297,600.
That's the capital amount of the vehicle.
Then in 2 years, then they just collect. Thank you, Pumnand. Thank you. Then in 4 years, the car is 1 million or let's
kilometers.
say 800 kilometers.
And it's not usable.
It's finished.
No, thank you very much. I wanted to have this base, and my team has been saying, let's get the guys, let's have this thing, let's hear from them. Let's not do the research. We're sitting here with computers here, we're doing research, but we don't get the emotion. We don't get how you really feel. When I pass through the shopping mall and I can see somebody parked there, even sleeping sometimes, you don't know what these guys are going through. So there's a lot that people are going through. But I want to say thank you for really coming through. I know that you need to be on the road. I don't want to keep you for long. I just want to say to the viewers and the drivers out there is something that can be done. But the way you've been doing it has been wrong. You're not going to win it the way you've been doing it. We want to work with you. Thanks to those who are already offering their drivers that are speaking to us. You've been sending us emails. You've been sending us DMs. We appreciate that. I mean, over the last 4 or 5 days, our stats are showing that we've been interacting with probably 14,000 males, majority of drivers, that are talking to us and saying that we need help. And everything that we say, people are saying that, but how can we help? So we're going to come back with some kind of a package and propose it to you. And we need to find a way, because you guys, you are individuals. Even the groups, the groups are just there for, they are not really formal things, because Uber wants you to remain like that. These platforms, they want you to remain just locked on them, because when you are together, you start striking, and they don't like that. And so they pull you. They know your weakness. That's why they search the price. When they search the price, you know that if you can do 2 or 3 trips on that search, for the day you are good. So they break the strike. And I think we have not done it right over the last couple of years. But there's an opportunity now. Yes, we are transit ringers. We don't do anything else. We just do public transport. We do anything that has to, and our definition of public transport is anything that has to do with e-hailing, trains, buses, and minibus taxis. So if your vehicle is used by multiple other people to get to another place and you are paid for it, it's a public transport. So that's we are specialists in that. That's why we are transit ringers. We only talk about transit and transport stuff. So let's and we are the only ones in the country, by the way, because we have decided that we just want to focus on one thing. Public transport, because there's so many of us that are dependent on this transport. But we should not allow it when it's killing you. The reason why we exist, we are going to work with you guys on condition that you guys are also going to really start respecting the riders. It's not, we are not compromising when it comes to how the riders and the passengers are treated. There are drivers that are doing very bad things to young girls when they come out of clubs at night. All of these things are known. And for us to have a working relationship every single driver will have to really change the way they do things. Because we can't continue like this. But if you were to ask me, can we help you? Yes, we can. Do we have the capacity to help you? Yes, we can. We do. Nobody else, even we have all that we require to be able to do this thing for you. But so we're gonna send out a lot of information, and we can see now people are beginning to respond to that, and we are going to build a case. We're also going to show you, if once we go to a meeting with Move and all the others, we'll tell you. We've been in a meeting with these ones, and this is what they're saying. We've been to a meeting with Pace, this is what they're saying. So that you know that we are doing something behind the scenes. But for now, don't break. Keep it together. Keep praying. We hope that there will be a change. Because if they don't agree, the courts are going to give us a solution. But we believe that if we discuss with them, there could be something that comes out. But if they don't, we're going to go to court. And court is the only place where we're going to get this solution. Because there are facts and there are legal grounds for us to do something like this. That's what the courts are there for. So thank you very much for you spending your time with us. Thank you very much for losing a 300 rand because of us. The next time we're going to do it, we're going to have our own round table. We're going to have a driver in Durban, in Cape Town, in Johannesburg, in Pretoria, online, and we have this round table. Yeah, so that it's not us thinking that we understood, but we must hear it from different other voices, because this thing would make it. So, my viewers, thank you very much for spending time with us today. As you know, Transit Ringers, we will not drop anything when it comes to public transport. We will take the commitment before we fight, or as we fight with the drivers and their behavior and all of that. We must also see when they are being treated unfairly. We also urge you, as the passenger, as the rider, your rudeness sometimes when you get into these vehicles, you must also manage that. You sometimes order a vehicle when you know that you don't have the money. So we must take joint responsibility, all of us. So let's join hands and solve and make public transport, like all other, developed economies around the world. It can work, but it will take me, you, and the other for it to work. From me, Isaac Lesole, Transit Ringers, peace out. See you next time.
Yo, en het rijden.